My name is Sunaya Shirurkar and I'm the founder director at ACS Solutions. We are basically an edtech startup wherein we teach kids to explore the new technologies by learning how to build their own robots and to code them. When I talk about robotics and coding, it's always seen as if it's a very tough thing or it's some kind of a rocket science, but it's very easy. So what is basically happening is we are trying to teach students STEM education. STEM is nothing but science, technology, engineering and maths. So what we try to do is we teach them the basics of science and maths and teach them how they're going to use this to build some new things. And the easiest way how they can do this is by building robots and coding them, designing them the way they want. So that's how they learn how to, they learn the basics of science and maths, what they really learn in the academics. It's not only for kids, it's for any student, and it may be a school student or a college student also. What I was mainly focusing on was hands-on learning, hands-on practicals. So I believe in learning by doing things. So that's the reason, like, all our kits are do-it-yourself kits. It's not an plug and play kind of a thing. Students have to really understand how they're supposed to build things and make around different kinds of projects. So the concepts are basically getting cleared out there. So it's not only for school students, but it's also for college students as well. A lot of parents come to me, asking me questions whether, really they require robotics or what is coding and where they will use it. The misconception is basically, if you learn robotics and coding, then the child has to do engineering. So here what happens is, I tell them how using robotics they understand the fundamentals of science and maths. So, and how basically their academic performance also increases the moment they understand, they see how the concepts of science and maths is used into robotics. So they get into a research mode, and over there, a point comes wherein your STEM education from STEM goes to STREAM, that's called as science, technology, research, engineering, arts and maths. So a research component gets added out there. As I said, robotics is a very fun way of learning to do things and understand the concepts. So I've seen, like, till date, like, students when they start making robots and they try to understand how it works and all, they're always into it. The moment they finish one robot, they want to see how the other robots work. So the moment they understand the algorithm, how to code it and all, they are totally into it. So by God's grace, never there was a chance where, I had to go through that particular process. The only thing what we tell them is we make it interesting by showing them real life robots, and ask them to do it. So it's basically their teachers. They go through the thing, so they're totally into it, and that's where the fun components come. So they are interested in building different. The curiosity and the inquisitiveness is what I first look at. I increase that in them, and then that's how they go ahead and they start, exploring, researching, come to the next class, giving us different ideas, and they start building their own things. There's this one child, Isha, our own Prashant sir's daughter. She's there with us for almost three years now, and we started with basic coding with her, the Scratch programming, and now she's gone ahead and developed different kinds of apps for us. She's developed around 42 different apps. She's now doing her own website. So yeah, I sometimes wonder how at this young age she's coming up with so many different ideas. So I come from an academic background wherein, for me, business, I didn't know how to go ahead and do a business and thing. I didn't know what's a business model. I didn't know what is a financial, financial model or revenue model, all of those things. So I was being recommended FIRE by one of a friend. When I came and I met the CEO, Prashant, so he was very warm in welcoming the idea. Whatever guidance I required at an early stage. So I did have my prototype ready, wherein I showed them the prototype. The kit was ready, but then the polishing of the business model and everything, all the guidance is what was provided by the incubation And then I also got introduced to the prototyping lab, wherein now we develop around 30% of our kits in the prototyping lab itself. So the incubation, two things. One is the support that you get, and you also see a lot of people. You can do networking. You get inspired by the other startups. So there are times wherein you are in, like it's not always uh, a good day for you, but when you are low, you see the other startups and you get inspired from them. It's basically the energy exchange that happens is what I look at. When each new batch comes, I have to be prepared for that new batch, because now what has happened is during the COVID time, they've got exposed to online training, so they know a lot of stuff online. So it becomes very easier also for me, wherein I don't have to train them a lot with respect to the technical terms. But yes, definitely, since now the information is just out there, they can just go to Google and they can search everything and anything. So here what happens is I need to be updated myself, and then go ahead and give them the training. The moment they see maybe an LED blinking, or they see their first robot working, moving, and the happiness that they have, like they get after making their first robot, just drives me to get in more batches and teaching them. Most of the parents feel that that robotics or coding is not for their child. So I just want to tell all the parents, it is not meant to it is not meant so that your child becomes an engineer later on. It is required because apart from your normal learning, normal academics, you require this for your technical skills as well as cognitive skills. Like I've seen like all the students who come to us, they've sometimes I've seen like a child didn't even know how to use a laptop. So when they come here and they start coding, they know how to use a laptop now. They earlier didn't know how to do a Google search. Now they understand how to do a Google search. During COVID time, they didn't know how to do a share screening. When they start taking classes with us, they understand these are basic things, computer literacy, what we call. So apart from hardcore technical skills, what we talk about, the coding languages or robotics, they also learn these computer skills. On the other hand, with respect to the cognitive skills, when I talk about, when we throw problems at them, they start looking out for solutions. So they have these problem solving skills with them. They develop that. The collaboration. So during the camps or during the internship period, we have them forming groups. So they understand how to do collaboration, leading a team. The confidence level I've seen increased in them. So all these things have, they play a very important role. So it's not only for a child to later on become an engineer, but it is required. We have taken extra care of putting the, removing the sharp edges from the kits, and wherever it is required, only using a screwdriver which is child friendly, and they can then go ahead and do the soldering. Soldering is not even there, so we pre-solder everything and we keep for them. So in case if a child some components break here and there, we have a replacement out there for them, and those things have been taken care of. My message to people who want to become entrepreneurs would be, if you have a dream, you have to go out there and try it out. Definitely risks are there, and you need to take those risks, and trust me, once you take those risks, you keep on progressing further and further, and you have to make it happen at the end of the day. Whatever is your dream, you need to make it come true.